What's up, guys? How you doing? Unfortunately, really sucks. Came out here to do a little video, catching up on some of the Dak Prescott news and Amari Cooper news. What's going down with Ezekiel Elliott and the Dallas Cowboys right now. There's a lot of stuff going on today. There's a big golf tournament that Stephen Jones is attending, and he's been taking phone calls all day. They're trying to figure out what's going on with Dak. I think they're really pursuing this pretty hot and heavy, and I think one of the reasons they want to get this done, of course it has a little to do with the other guys that are looking at contracts right now as well. Some of the other guys such as Goff and Wentz and Mahomes and some of these guys that could get signed. But truthfully, guys, I think that the Cowboys kind of think on their own. I don't think they're going to, look at Amari Cooper's contract and say, well, this is what Odell Beckham got, so this is what we need to do. I think they're gonna draw the line in the dirt, and they're gonna say, look, man, this is the situation. The Cowboys want to pay you. We want to keep you, but we're trying to build a team together here. They really are watching, and I don't even need to say the name of some of the teams out there or a particular team that has a particular philosophy, and you're starting to see this with a lot of the talk going around the NFL, the talking heads. And of course, I love some of the things they say, and then they say some of the most ridiculous things. When they talk about Dak Prescott not deserving $30 million, nowhere near. Guys, he's winning, okay? Wins are wins. Now, whether he deserves, how much over 30 or right there at 30, that's the going rate right now for a quarterback that's going to win. You guys got to look at certain things. With Tony Romo in there, Tony Romo had his days, Troy Aikman had his days, and I'm not talking about days, years with the Cowboys where things weren't together and things weren't working. They didn't have the right things around them. All quarterbacks have to have the right pieces around them. Now, some quarterbacks need a few more pieces than others. Do I think Dak needs pieces around him? Yes, I do. I think all quarterbacks do. Would Dak prefer to have pieces around him? Of course he does. All quarterbacks do. So you've got to look at the percentage of the salary cap that a quarterback's going to warrant, is going to deserve. This has to be taken into effect. Will he get around 30? He probably will. I'm hoping if we can get him between 28 and 30, somewhere in that ballpark, maybe a little over 30. And I think the longer you go, actually, guys, look at this. We don't have to do a deal this year. We could ride this out and do the deal at the end of next year. But now you're looking at, he has the option to look at other places. When he has the option to look at other places, now you've opened up a door where some team could come in and throw big money at him. There's 31 other teams out there that can throw money at him. Give or take. I could guarantee you the New England Patriots would love to have him. He would fit right in with what I think they like to do. Those are the type teams. He's safe. He doesn't get really wild and crazy. If he's protected well, he takes care of the ball. He did have some fumbling issues the year before last. Last year he had a little bit of a fumbling issue as well. The year before last was worse. So there's some things that go into play in this, and people are saying it's almost like when they said, "Oh, we just need to decide DeMarcus Lawrence." No, that wasn't any kind of situation where we just need to sign DeMarcus Lawrence. It depends on what he's asking for. We need to just get Earl Thomas. It depends on what they're asking for. It sounds like Amari Cooper is stepping out, and he has some definite leverage right now. The reason is we spent a first-round draft pick on Amari Cooper. We spent a first-round draft pick. So if we don't do something with Amari Cooper, we lose that. So it ends up, if we don't do something with Amari Cooper and Amari Cooper decides, hey, I'm just going to go somewhere else, he has that option. Now, that may not happen directly, but but it could down the road. And that's why the Amari Cooper situation, he knows he has a little more leverage than some of these other guys. For us to have him a year and a half, only, if we don't do something this year and he goes out on the free agent market next year, somebody bids too high, we don't want to deal with that. We had him a year and a half and we lost a first-round draft pick. I'm also following my Twitter page. I haven't even opened my Twitter in about 2 weeks. You guys know I pretty much called when the DeMarcus Lawrence the DeMarcus Lawrence signing was going to happen. I said it's going to happen like 2 weeks before the draft, or it's not going to happen until after. I rode this camera all night long Friday in Afghanistan because I said the deal's going down today. They're working on a deal. They're not going to leave this meeting room without a deal, and the reason is if they did leave, they were definitely going to start looking at serious trade value, and there was no trade value because of the shoulder injury. DeMarcus Lawrence knew that. The Cowboys knew that. It kind of put them in a situation. It locked them in a room, and they said, get the deal done. I stayed awake till 3 in the morning, broke the video live, and I'm going to try to do the same thing here with the Dak Prescott thing, but this could linger on a little bit. There's no real time frame as to where I right now think this is going to happen, but I do think there's a possibility it happens this week, and the reason I'm thinking that is because I think Dak understands football. I think he understands. I think he wants to stay a winner, and I think he understands. And please, guys, don't take this wrong. I'm not saying Dak has to take a team-friendly deal to help the team. All quarterbacks need to take a team-friendly deal. All quarterbacks, and I'm not saying they need to undervalue themselves. I'm saying they need to look at what they're doing, their position, how important they are to the team, and they need to look around them and say, hey, I would love to keep Ezekiel Elliott here. I would love to keep Byron Jones. I would love to keep maybe a second year on some of these guys. If David Quinn balls out this year, do another 1-year deal on this guy or some of the guys like that. These things can happen if Dak does the right deal. Now, one good thing I think about doing the deal now with Dak, another thing is he's only getting paid $2 million this year. So if he's only getting paid $2 million and you step to him and say, hey, we want to bump you this year. If we bump you up this year, we get it done. Basically, we're giving you a $26, $27, $28 million early contract. You're going to get $28 million early. You're getting that this year. Another thing is if you do so that's basically, they could just say, you know what? Let's pay him $2 million. Let's see what we can get out of him, and then let's check the draft, or let's see what's going on. It's really worked out great for the Cowboys having a quarterback that made $1 million. It's worked out very well. We've got other guys coming down the pipe though that are going to require contracts. So we've got to look at the salary cap going up about actually goes up about 10.8 million a year is the average over the last 3 or 4 years. So here we go. We got the rain coming in. We got salary cap, going up. Hopefully about 10.8 million a year. So if you get him in this year, you can kind of look down the road and say, within 3 years, Dak is in the clear and free. And I think you could get him a little cheaper this year for 2 reasons. For 2 reasons, the other guys haven't gotten signed, and you don't have like 5 or 6 quarterbacks in that $30 million range right now. You've got some in the 27s, 28s with your Kirk Cousins and those guys, but you don't have, like, within the next year, you're going to have you're looking at about 4 guys or 5 guys over that $30 million, and Dak's definitely going to be looking in that zone there. So if you do it now, you get him in there around 28 to 30, somewhere around there. You do it, you're basically giving him a $28 million pay raise this year. You can tell him, hey, that pay raise for this year, think about this, Dak, spread it out over those next years. We could just wait and do it next year. And if we pay you $3 million next year over, you're getting $3 million extra next year, $3 million extra the next year. Over the next 5 or 6 years, you're getting an extra $3 million. We're willing to give you that $26 million bonus, or upgrade on your salary right now. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but if you look at the math, I started to bring a board out here and kind of do it on the board, but that would really make a big difference if he's sitting back making $2 million this year. Say, hey, we do the deal this year. We get you in for 28 instead of 30 because we're giving you 26 million this year that we're not having to give you. I hope it makes sense what I'm saying. I hope I'm saying it in the right way where the terminology is understandable. But that's going to free up this money. And for me, with Ezekiel Elliott, we've just got to see. One big thing is health on a running back, and I know there's not another Ezekiel Elliott out there right now. There's very few of those guys in the league. Just like there's very few, Aaron Rodgers. There's very few, Todd Gurley's. There's these guys that are elite at their position. There's very few of them. The New York Giants announced that they have signed. Okay, yeah, that came out earlier. But I guess they're just announcing the signing. We knew that was going to happen, but I guess it's official now that they have signed Rod Smith. So these are some of the things we got to look at, guys. And Amari Cooper, he has some leverage, and the reason he does is the mere factor that we gave up a first-round pick for him, and his contract is coming up next year. He's going to shop the market next year. If we try to get him done now, he's going to say, hey, pay me this, or I don't think Dak will be that way. And what you got to do in these situations, when you've got multiple guys that need contracts, you start hitting them early. And if you get them to bite, on what people are calling a team-friendly deal, and I want to use that term not loosely, but what I want to say is a team-friendly deal. All that is a deal that works out between you and the team. That has nothing to do with anybody else. Take that shit out of it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the Cowboys think you're worth and you think you're worth, if you can come together on that, that's a team-friendly deal. This shit ain't where Dak needs to take a team-friendly deal of $18 million. That's not going to happen. That's ridiculous. He's not going to get – there's no way he'll take anything under 25, and as he shouldn't. That's ridiculous. Now, 28, that would be, I consider, if they can get Dak to do that, he's leaving money on the table for other players, and he probably might admit that, and he might be okay with that. That's up to him. That doesn't mean it's a team-friendly deal. That means it's a Dak I want to win friendly deal. So that's the way I feel on it. I hope Dak gets it done. I hope he gets a good deal for himself, but I hope he leaves some money there on the table for some of these other guys. I hope Amari Cooper can settle down. I don't know if this is his agent or whatever. I hope Amari Cooper can settle down and do this the right way. And so we can get some of these guys. Like, we don't want to lose Byron Jones. I feel like he's came in there. Chris Richard has put some good time in with the guy. I think he's doing a great job. I think he has the ability this year to be a little more aggressive. I think our defensive line has the ability to be a little more aggressive, and that's going to get turnovers for guys like Byron Jones, guys like Jeff Heath, Xavier Woods. I expect Kayvon Frazier. Kayvon Frazier has that size as well that Chris Richard likes. I think with the offseason work they might have done, I think we're going to see more of Kayvon Frazier. He's a really good hitter, great on special teams. Ioka has that size as well. So we may see quite a bit of change at safety. And the video that the news I got earlier from some of this stuff that Stephen Jones was talking about is he's getting calls about trades for the Cowboys. People that are interested in talking to him. Now, he's not out playing golf. I can tell you this. Stephen Jones is not out playing golf calling people saying, hey, we need to make a trade. What about this guy? No, he's receiving phone calls because there are teams interested in some of the Cowboy safeties. We're a little deep there. Now, we don't have any highlight guys, really. We don't have any super playmakers at safety, but we have a very solid, thorough, deep safety squad, I think, to include some of the guys that we got as free agents after the draft. So we're deep there. We're solid. We got some good guys. Some of the teams know that, and Stephen Jones' phone is ringing, and there's people that are looking at that. So we could use some of these situations to get more draft picks next year. And you guys know the the best way to do that is get as many picks in the drafts as you can. So if we start getting early interest on some of these guys, some of them could be gone. They may never see the Dallas Cowboys. Could be like Kevin Frazier could have some interest. Because of his special teams ability, he didn't get a lot on the field last year. But you could have some teams say, "Hey, Kevin Frazier's special teams ability." It could translate to the field. Let's take a look at him. There may be some teams looking at Kevin Frazier. There may be some teams looking at Jeff Heath. The Cowboys could be, who knows? Phone calls are phone calls, and I'm telling you, these millions of phone calls probably happen that we never even hear about. So it's an open market, it's business, and that's just the way it is. So I'm gonna get this video posted, guys. I really appreciate it. Like I said, I don't post videos unless things are rolling, and right now there's some things rolling at the Star. There's some things going on. I haven't been posting a lot of videos, but I'll be pretty busy the rest of this week, and we may see some moves before Friday and before these mini camps get started. But anyway, guys, Cowboy Crunk from Houston, Texas, Magnolia, Texas, the Big Mag Nasty, coming to you from the north. Man, it's raining up here, and it's crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and get this video posted. You guys take care. Peace out. Keep in touch. Like and subscribe, baby.